Two now.
His is bigger.
What?
Yes.
Yours has like big crazy horns and shit.
No, his is the cantina. His is the cantina.
Oh my god.
Edition.
Oh my god.
Listen, he has spikes. Listen, I'm not grateful. I'm very grateful for the adopted. He's got spikes. Look at him. Well, now he won't stop. See, he plays this game. Like I try to catch up to him, and then he just runs away. Stop running.
No, my brother is just the Tard Wrangler of the two of us. He has to lead us around and be like, come on, come.
Do you see his spikes? They're orange.
Yes, they are. Quite nifty. And yours has big gnarly horns. What are you crying about?
No, his are orange.
No, I get that he has the like spikes around his back and stuff that are orange and everything, but you got big gnarly horns on the freaking head of the Rancor you got. Pretty cool.
No, his are orange.
Did you want what you wanted orange, an orange spiked Rancor? Would that have made you feel a little better?
No. Where are we going? I'm hungry. There's stuff at the gas station.
Own your truth. You know, it was difficult. It was at first. I mean, you just cornered me like that and everything, but you know, it's a little liberating now to know I can like Star Wars in more ways than I ever imagined. Dave Filoni is the savior of Star Wars. KK is doing an amazing job. The people out there are just blind and can't see it. So yes, thank you. I can stop lying now.
Damn, that's not good.
I
when
the
you get
NES and
instead of just like trying to slap something out like the Star Wars experience and crap, but when you have
don't,
when you
don't.
I'm sorry, it's true though. It's
No,
like
I just got back from. Oh, I just died.
I just
How do
watched
I
that.
get-
It was hilarious.
How do I get back up there?
1 week later.
I don't know what I was doing, but from that angle, I just jumped.
you just walked right off
I
the
just
cliff.
walked
It was
off.
hilarious.
I don't know what I was doing, but I was like, that's funny. I was just like, do, 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 do. And I was like, over here, and I was like, ooh. Oh, see, you thought I was going to die.
And he did it. All right.
Oh,
Oh, I missed it.
I was fully. I intended not to do it. I was just messing around.
Yeah,
and
you-
hit W.
Oh, that was gold. That was.
Way to go, buddy.
Hello and good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Saturday Night Sith, number 136. Wow, it just keeps on going. I am your host, the Fractured Filter, and with me here tonight is, as always, my friend, my compatriot, my buddy in all this madness, and the birthday boy, Jay Hitman. How are you tonight, sir?
Dare you? How dare you put that on stream? Good, very good. I think you're gonna hate me for saying this, but I think we should have a massive discussion on. Well, basically, I need everybody to tell me or tell you how you should spend your vacation, whether it be playing
God.
Shadows or not, because as I said before the stream, we really just didn't get into why we don't want to play other than
Assassin's
you know,
Creed. By Shadows, he means Assassin's Creed Shadows.
yes. Because apparently new information has arisen that he's actually not black, that he's Samoan, which makes it all the better.
I find it amusing that you think it's better.
Well, okay, because being black's just ridiculous. Right? That's not a thing. Isn't Samoa like close to Japan? Is it more highly probable?
You know, you're bringing up this topic and you don't even know.
I just don't. I mean, it could be possible. And we didn't even really talk about like where the hate came from. We just kind of briefly discussed that, like, you know, it was kind of ridiculous that they had a black samurai, but Samoan is, I mean, much more plausible, I think.
So I did do a quick because I just thought they were from Hawaii, but yeah, Samoans are indigenous Polynesian people who inhabit the Samoan Islands in the South Pacific Ocean. Remember, I went to California public schools. Blame them.
So isn't that by Asia?
South Pacific?
Yeah.
Yeah, they say Southeast Asia, so yes. So
See? Am I wrong? Could I be wrong? Some of the times it just works out perfectly where like
I don't even know how then we've gotten to this point.
because we really just, it's just off the cuff. But seriously though, like I've heard the gameplay, you know, the graphics are fantastic, the gameplay is great. You get to play as a Samoan samurai, which is unheard of. Almost unheard of as a black samurai.
gameplay is great. You say, is that right? You want to stand on that hill? You want to see that game? Here we go. Here we go. I'm sharing it right now. Hang on. Here's your brilliant some of your brilliant gameplay here.
Hold on. Let's go. Okay, continue.
All right. You ready for this, Hitman?
Oh yeah.
All right, watch this. Wait for it. And the corpse gets back up. For a second time, he gets back up.
That's still better than Outlaws, where at least he didn't fall through the map. And your argument is right.
We even got Melissa Lord here saying Assassin's Creed Shadows is trash. I'll take her word for it.
Listen, I just think that you just don't want to play it for the sake of just not playing it.
Who inspired you so much that you want me to play this godforsaken game?
Twitter, people that want to see you torture yourself.
Who?
And
Who have you? I've barely seen you on Twitter.
Listen, I would not be doing my duty as your best friend and brother and all this if I would not push you outside your comfort limits. And I think, as a game connoisseur and as a true PC gamer, you owe it to the audience and to me to at least, review this game. And I make a compelling argument, so I defer to you. I defer the floor to you so you can argue against it.
As we just saw, the game is a broken mess. It is
not as broken as Outlaws. So that in itself should give you hope. Right? Yes? I'm here.
You're testing my patience, sir.
No, I'm not. I mean, you're on holiday for 2 weeks. So it's like, what? I mean, surely you could make time for it. Listen, if you played with my stupid self, on Saturday night or what was our Sunday night shenanigans?
Sunday night shenanigans, yeah.
You can play that.
Oh, Sutor is great. Sutor, while I have a love-hate relationship with that game, I will easily tolerate much more than Assassin's Creed Shadows. Like, that game is just pure propagandist mess, and I am not going near it.
Why? Because
Ubisoft is Ubisoft is just a trash freaking company, and I'm not gonna support them in that manner. And the only way I would ever touch AC Shadows is if I was getting it for free.
You can get it for free.
How?
Just go swimming.
I'm already swimming right now, and I don't even see it on here. It's so bad, nobody wants to do that. That's how bad it is. At least not the place I usually go to. I just like your.
What I'm hearing is that you think that it is outside the realm of possibilities for a Samoan to be a samurai.
Yes, only the Japanese can be samurai. Only the Japanese can be ninja. That is how it works.
The DEA or DEI people at Ubisoft.
Wait, whoa! I heard DEI is dead now. Come on, man. Trump killed it, right?
Well, hopefully so. I don't know. So
anyways, let's get to the.
So what are you going to be doing on your holiday then?
Well, of course I think I announced it here on the 23rd. I will be doing a big birthday stream. We'll be seeing how long I can go. I'm planning to pick up that. I'm thinking of picking up the Lego DeLorean, and I'll put that together on stream. And I might play some games in between, hang out with chat, and just kind of spend my day just kind of picking out and having some fun. And I've even thought of like maybe starting on that Monday, I might do like a stream too of doing something like the start of what got me into video games. So I'd play like, some of the old classics like Super Mario Brothers and stuff like that, and maybe go into the Super Nintendo era and stuff, and kind of, take people on a little bit of a journey. Tell a tale or two.
So not Assassin's Creed.
No. If any, the thing is too is that big thanks to Spartacus, who had gifted me some games during Christmas time. He'd gifted me the Lego Harry Potter collection, and then the Lego Batman trilogy. So I've got those games that I got to get through now. Cause I was still in the middle of Mass Effect when he gifted me those. I was like, oh shit.
Andromeda? That's what you should play. You should play Andromeda. That's a fantastic game. Andromeda is literally the Black Flag of Andromeda.
Okay.
Mass Effect. Literally, Andromeda. I say this with absolute authority. Andromeda
Authority.
Is the Black Flag. Yes, Andromeda is the Black Flag of Mass Effect. Everywhere from the gameplay to the story, the character development, the graphics, is just fantastic. Bar none will go down in infamy as like it's actually the New Vegas Fallout. Like that's how good it is.
You, sir, are stretching.
No.
Yes.
Ask the chat.
What?
How they feel about Andromeda. It being quintessential to that series.
Okay, so speaking of the chat, let me get to the chat. We did have Dan Blackroyd in first, talking about saying the title should be Thunderbolts. Just that. And then, hello, backseater. What?
Oh, I was saying I did see Dan Blackwood will enjoy this. I did see my first official Thunderbolts Funko. It's so stupid.
Well, guess what? I have a Thunderbolts trailer that was released 5 days ago, and guess what we're watching?
I hate you.
Anyways, Backseater said, "Word up, people. How's it going, Backseater?" And hello, Melissa Lord. How are you doing? We got, of course, like I said, Dan Blackray. Where's the audio? I know. There you go. I got it. I boomered for a moment. I can't believe I boomered. Backseater says, "Filter, you still have the space station ambience playing." I just kind of was dropping the ball left and right. Melissa Lord said AC Evil Dead for the the dead man walking around without his head. Backseater says the secret origins of the Headless Horseman. Dan Blackwood says make time for Thunderbolts. We will. We are. I looked, and because you keep bringing it up, man, and I am the man of the people. Although this one's oh no, here we go. We got one from Marvel. I was almost like, oh crap, it's India, but never mind. We got one from Marvel itself. Maybe we'll watch both. There we go.
You're the man of the people. You do your 40-hour stream.
That's just one person, not the people. Backseater says Sutor must be protected. It's the last of the expanded universe, except they've been inserting a bunch of Disney crap, so they've already been perverting that grass. Melissa Lord says, "Don't give Ubisoft money." Never would. They say you don't own your games. Exactly. Then there you go. More reasons why you stay away from them. Dan Blackroy says, "Synthesis awaits you." I will get to that eventually. Yes. Maybe that'll be part of the weekend, as well as getting the Synthesis ending for Mass Effect 3. Backseater says, "J Hitman speaking cap." Dan Blackroyd says, "Fractured refuses to help anyone in Mass Effect." This is true. Hey, Shaka Zulu, how's it going? Hello. Hello to you, sir. How are you doing? Okay, so Yeah. We're gonna be starting out big here. We're gonna be going for this Thunderbolts here. It's just a minute. But you know what? Since Hitman's such a big fan, big fan, just like Dan Blackwood, big fan of Thunderbolts. We're gonna watch this trailer.
How dare you?
Here we go. Let me get the properties. I got freaking chicken. All right. Okay. Here we go. All right. It should be up for you as well, Hitman. You see it in Discord?
Oh yeah.
Okay, cool. Here we go.
Not that I want to.
Being the hero, there is no higher calling. Serving people in the streets, adored like gods.
Dad, that's just a fairy tale. No one here is a hero.
I am a void. There's no use fighting.
He's invincible, all-powerful, stronger than all of the Avengers rolled into one.
You don't know what I'm capable of. Maybe I need to show you.
Avengers are gone. No one's coming to save the day.
I think we are.
Us?
We could be the people that are coming.
Let's do this.
We are the Thunderbolts!
Marvel Studios Thunderbolts. Only in theaters May 2nd. Filmed for IMAX.
We are so back. I don't know. I think that was a little more hype than the Superman, even the sneak peek we watched last week.
Who are you? What are you? What's in that chicken you're eating?
Oh my god, it's so good too.
Was that Apocalypse the villain? Who is this guy? He just turns you into a shadow lord?
We've already got it. It's the Sentinel.
Who?
The villain.
The Sentinel? Who's the Sentinel?
Dan Blackray, 20 out of 10. You know what? I'm with you, brother. I'm convinced. He's been just doggedly, hyping this movie up. I think I'm ready for it. I am down, man. What, you didn't like how it looked?
Who, me?
Action looked, yes, Sentry. Sorry, not Sentinel. Sentry.
Oh.
Sorry, Dan Blackred. My bad. Thank you for correcting me. Are you telling me you're not hype? That did not get you hype?
No, the Fortress of Solitude coming out of the ground, which I did research is a thing. It has always come out of the ground. Looks better than this.
I don't know, dude.
And the dude's Russian wasn't even like legitimately Russian. He just sounds like a fake Russian. And so does the girl. Obviously, she's not Russian. The fake accent is terrible. Gary Oldman does a better Russian accent. And freaking.
Well, that's Gary Oldman. That's not fair.
Huh?
I said that's not fair. That's Gary Oldman.
I mean, yes, he's fantastic. One of the greats for sure. One of my favorite actors, if not my favorite. I would much rather watch that trailer of Michelle Obama as president that Bradley had.
Oh God! Apparently that's out now on Amazon.
Oh, it didn't even go to theaters. That's crazy.
I don't think it was meant for theaters. I think it was always meant for streaming.
Oh, see, I thought it was meant for theaters.
I don't know. The action looks good. I'm forgetting characters' names though, but Bucky is getting into some good action shots, and
I forgot them because they're not important. They're not famous.
How dare you? How dare you?
Rude.
Are you telling me this is not a great looking squad of people here?
No.
No. How dare you?
No.
This is the next Avengers.
No.
This is better than the Avengers.
They're worse than the Eternals. And that's saying something.
Oh, I'm sorry. I can't. I'm trying to have a little bit of fun here.
You legitimately think this is gonna be good?
No, probably not. But the trailer wasn't bad.
See, like you say this, and then you get both people. Your voice carries weight, Fractured, and you just go black pill. Go black pill it.
Go back to Blackville.
Yeah, go back to black pill, Fractured. I just can't like. Here's the thing, like the whole.
Well, here's one thing is that yeah, it's the Sentry, and the Sentry. I don't know. This guy here is looking a little too wiry, because as I recall, like the Sentry is basically like Marvel's kind of like their a bizarro Superman sort of thing, because he's also got multiple personality disorder, but like he's kind of jacked and everything. So this guy, I don't know, because he's also supposed to be blonde haired and everything too. No wonder they picked him.
He literally looks like just Jack.
Well, it's just because he has his other personality is like called the Void or something like that. If I remember Dan Blackroyd talking about it. I'm sorry.
Where's Star Wars Marvel purists? I don't know anything about the Sentry. I didn't even know that's a character. Perhaps you do a story with, listen, I'm all for doing stories with people that we've never seen before, but I've never heard of the Sentry.
I've heard of him a couple of times, only because I believe he was kind of a plot point for the Marvel Civil War, the first one, and he also then
the comic or the movie?
The comic. And then he Sentry ripped Carnage in half, Cletus Cassidy. So that's the only things I really know him from is all like I said is that he ripped Carnage in half. Out in space and everything.
I gotta look at this. I gotta look up some information because I don't.
Cassidy is a mass murderer, so he kind of had it coming one way or another. So yeah, that was the Thunderbolts trailer. Legitimately, it wasn't that bad. But I'm just, the Marvel slop, I'm just not big on. I'm going to be curious to see what exactly they're going to be doing with the new Spooderman. Otherwise, though, sorry. Like, I know some people like, was it Wyatt Russell here? I believe his name is, son of Kurt Russell. As, oh God, what did they call him? I forgot what the heck they called him here in this show. Or because he's in the Black Falcon Winter Soldier show. Oh God, I forget. I'm terrible with names. I swear to God.
I would much rather watch Guardians of the Galaxy than this movie, and
I like the first Guardians of the Galaxy.
Huh?
I like the first Guardians of the Galaxy. Second one was okay. I didn't like it because with Kurt Russell. The second one wasn't bad. I haven't seen the third one. Oh, okay, thank you, Backseater, U.S. agent. That was him.
They're all bad. All bad.
Oh, ain't you human? You like James Gunn?
Yeah, I do. I just didn't like Guardians. I thought Guardians was trash.
You like James Gunn?
I like him better than the other guy that was running DC Creative.
Oh, so Zack Snyder?
Yeah.
At least I think he was running creative, or at least for the movie side.
Appalling. Terrible. The worst. And I can't even look at Gal Gadot the same ever since she did Snow White. I'm like, I'm done.
I've never understood the appeal for her myself, but that's me.
I don't know, man. Looking at this stuff now, it's like, What were we doing?
New York, Florida man. Hey, how's it going, dude? And says Red Guardian is gonna have his Peter Griffin versus chicken moment. Oh God! So he's gonna literally fight a giant chicken? I might have to see it for that. you're not enjoying my positivity, are you?
Absolutely not. I can't. Marvel, what was the last good movie? And I say this about, I equally will say this about DC as well. When was the last good movie Marvel pushed out?
You'd probably have to ask the chat better than that because I don't fucking know. I haven't really. I've had problems with a lot of the Marvel movies. But then I'm also not a big Marvel fan. Like mainly the Spider-Man games, Spider-Man movies. Is because I know Spider-Man. The other ones I'm just kind of ambivalent to. I'm just kind of like, eh.
Yeah.
So, you know, that was that.
The
that
point
was,
I was trying to make is that they have.
Wait, let me kind of get to some of the chat really quick because we got them going. Backseater said, "Here we go, boys." Dan Blackray said the movie will be an event for all mankind. Melissa Lord called it Marvel's Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Melissa Lord also said Bucky and the Rejects.
Yeah. Bucky couldn't hold the Avengers jock strap, so he's got to have the.
And she said this could be good, but there was no setup to this, and is full of unlikable characters. But the idea is not bad. Backseater says them inserting Disney trash into Sutor is all the more reason to protect it. Okay, that was off that. Florida man says I bet this whole stunt sneak peek was filmed on set in front of green screen. In front of a green screen. Dan Blackbird said the whole point of Sentry is that he is forgotten. Interesting.
Oh.
Backseater says that piece of rubble about to fall on the little girl looked like obvious styrofoam. Dan Blackbird says Thunderbolts Doomsday instead of Avengers Doomsday because they're second rate now. They're just a bunch of clowns. It's all about the Thunderbolts, people. And says this will be much better than Superman. You know what? I think I'm gonna have to agree. New York, Florida man says Grundlebolts. I don't know what the not even close to was from Dan Blackroyd. Backseater says, remember when one of the MCU's biggest innovations to superhero movies was adding color? Now they're just like the Fox X-Men movies where everyone's wearing black. A lot of their like the colors are very muted in this trailer for sure. And yeah, you got a lot of them basically in a lot of black outfits except for Mr. Fake Russian. You can see he's got the red, but yeah, everything is so just everything's washed out. You don't have any vibrancy or anything. It is just very just bleh, like a lot of video games nowadays. Backseater says Sentry also keeps having his backstory rewritten, and that Sentry was a plot point for World War Hulk. Oh, I thought he also kind of had one in the whole Civil War stuff. He was kind of like they were one big player that Tony was kind of on the edge about. Then saying, and he threw Carnage into the sun. Ah, that's right. And still somehow Carnage returned. Dan Blackbird said Sentry was a split personality that made the entire world forget he existed. Well, shit. Dan Blackbird said you're on the wrong side of history and saying Hawkeye was good. So that is Thunderbolts, people. Thunderbolts! I just had to torture Hitman a little bit for all of his Assassin's Creed talk.
Listen, just because you like Assassin's Creed does not mean you get a pass to torture me.
Of course it does.
Oh. I will not be watching this movie. Probably. not?
Unless somebody drags you to it or something.
No, I mean this is like on the same level as like Godzilla 1. It's just bad. Just bad for no reason other than it's just bad.
You're right.
Actually, I don't know. Maybe Godzilla 1 was better. What do you
You
think?
keep flip flopping.
Well, that's what I do. Are you gonna go watch? I think you and Beefster should go watch it.
I might just have to drag him out for it, you know?
When's it come out? July, June?
Oh God, what did they say? May 2nd.
Hey, you're gonna be on Hollywood. You're gonna be on vacation.
I know. It'll be my last couple of days.
Fencing a movie day with you and
Order them tickets now. Let's go.
that was really bad.
You know,
Like really bad.
like I said, the trailer wasn't bad. It's just I have no interest in the characters and everything.
I think what it is just I've become very cynical in the perspective of like I just don't ever think we'll ever get a good movie again from either Marvel or DC. Not that Marvel movies were ever good, obviously, but like definitely DC.
Yeah.
And so with that being said, I'm very, I don't know. Like to go from all the movies in like phase 1, which were like in my opinion really really good.
Uh-huh.
I mean I thought so at least, to like this, like that's where we're at. I mean that's where we've come.
They have kind of fallen from grace a little bit, yes.
A little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. Come on.
They're absolutely terrible.
Don't be so harsh.
What do you mean?
I don't know why I'm doing this right now, but I just am.
Absolutely terrible. Like go from Iron Man, which was just I can't do it. Can't do it.
I mean, they were okay. I wasn't like it's.
When do you think they went downhill?
It's probably when they first introduced Captain Marvel, and then when they when they had Endgame, and then that was kind of that was the beginning of the end.
I would still argue that Endgame was better than this trailer.
I don't know. Endgame was pretty trash.
I mean, you're not wrong. However, this is like excrement of a whole nother level.
Because I think I would.
Okay, I'm done talking about Thunderbolts.
Huh?
I said I'm done talking about Thunderbolts.
he is done. Hang on, do I have it? Dang it, I need a hang on. Do I have a clip for something like that? I kind of do. I kind of do. No, yeah, especially with the frustration that you have about it.
Yeah.
Okay, I kind of got it. Well, I don't know if you got the stream playing. So
Oh, I do.
okay. Maybe I'll have to somehow edit and get the guy saying I'm sick of Thunderbolts.
Right.
And I'll have to put your avatar head over it.
Need to, because. And the thing, I genuinely like, I can't tell if it's like, if people are being genuine or if they're just like, oh no, it's like so bad, I'm just gonna like joke around that it's actually good.
You mean kind of like me right now?
Well, I'm having a really hard time like figuring out if like you truly think it's bad or
I've still got it.
No, it's so bad.
I mean, I do feel bad for some of these people because it's like Marvel used to be at such a high and now it's just at such a low. And they're coming into this probably originally like, all right, I'm gonna be in Marvel, and I was like, oh, I'm in Marvel.
No, to your point, like Marvel used to be good, man. I mean,
yeah, it had a reputation.
I'll say it. I've said it before. I'll say it again. Phase 1, I thought was was probably out of all of the movies that I've watched, by far my favorite. I thought, Iron Man was great. I enjoyed Captain America. I enjoyed Iron Man 2. I enjoyed all the stuff. But now it's like you don't know what you're getting. Well, you do know what you're getting. You're getting just crap, but getting a crap sandwich. But
not even a good sandwich, it's a crap sandwich.
Oh yeah. And listen, I don't like crap on my sandwich.
Well, nobody does.
Well, the Australians do. They eat the Vegemite.
Dan Black right here said we will be watching this movie. And said Fractured's Days of Thunderbolts. You need to learn to love again. Let the hate out of your hearts. Be a good shepherd and Dave your flock trapped in vents. And save your flock trapped in vents. Yes, those poor children in vents. And then said Endgame was a cinematic landmark, a cultural event, not ever to be replicated again. Certainly for Marvel really, kicked off their final run and everything, and in a big way. I just remember Hitman asking me to watch both Endgame and what was the one before that?
Infinity War.
Yeah. And I was just like, especially because I kind of watched them back to back. And I was just like, why did I do this to myself? but Hitman asked me to, and he wanted my opinion, and then I gave it to him.
That was so long ago. I don't even remember that.
It's kind of like when we were first kind of talking and becoming friends and stuff.
Yeah. That's a long time ago. And they were still pumping out crap back then, man. It's crazy.
I know.
It's just gotten just looser and more liquidy. Some of the time, at least, some of the stuff that they used to do, had the potential of somewhat sticking. But when diarrhea is liquidy, they can't stick really.
Nope, not at all. No stick.
I would agree. Miss Marvel, whatever, Captain Marvel,
yeah,
really just screwed the pooch. And then the one that, like the Indian girl that came after her, that one.
Oh, Miss Marvel.
That was just that was bad too.
Yeah, they've just been crapping the bed.
You're gonna get a Switch too?
No, why would I? Especially not after everything I've been hearing about it and stuff.
I thought we were gonna do it.
I mean, you can by all means.
I'm not.
Even though you're the one that convinced me how much of shysters Nintendo are.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. $400. Absolutely. $490. I apologize. How dare I give them a $50 discount?
Well, speaking on Nintendo pricing and everything, I have an article regarding that. Here we go. Can you see it in Discord there, Hitman?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
cool. Title saying can't afford a Nintendo Switch? Buy a Switch One, Nintendo says. Now, where had we heard that before? Do you remember, Hitman?
You have to refresh my memory.
I believe it was a Microsoft exec for Xbox during the Xbox One. Nintendo has gone the Microsoft route. Almost the route of Diablo Mobile and the guy going, what? Don't you guys have phones? All the same energy. So Nintendo Switch 2 pre-orders are opening up in various regions. Not United States today and tomorrow, meaning that likely millions of people are set to make the $450 purchase on the new console. Unfortunately, however, there are plenty of others that won't be able to afford the Nintendo Switch 2. In a recent interview with CBC, which took place prior to the console's pre-orders being delayed in the United States, Nintendo of America's president Doug Bowser was asked about Doug Bowser. Yeah. He took over for the last guy, Reggie something, but
his last name has to be a joke.
No, it's legit. Doug Bowser was asked about I know, and everybody was like, "Oh shit, you got to be kidding me." When he first took over for Reggie, was asked about the console's price and what players who can't afford it should do. His response: play the original Switch. Quote, as we look at Nintendo Switch 2 and you think about the feature sets that I talked about, we believe that the pricing is appropriate for the value of the machine and the gameplay experience overall, Bowser said. Further quote, we recognize there are some people that may not be able to afford the Switch 2's price point. That's why we wanted to make the other Switch platforms available so people still have an opportunity to come into our gaming universe, be a part of these characters in these worlds, and see value, if you will, in whatever rung out of the platform they come in. While it's not direct as Don Matrick's response regarding the Xbox One requiring a constant internet connection in 2013, that's right. It was the question about the internet connection always needing to be online. Man, they screwed up big with that Xbox One launch, or at least the E3 showing for it. It still isn't something that's likely to sit well with a lot of players. What do you make of Bowser's comments towards people who may not be able to afford the Switch 2? Let us know down below. So yeah, what do you make of that, Hitman?
That's absolutely that's just absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible. And sometimes I will jokingly, well, not really jokingly, sometimes I do call people shysters without actually knowing fully if they're shysters, just based off like kind of their actions. This guy's absolutely a shyster, and Nintendo. Here's the thing that which irritates me. Okay, it's the exact same thing with like PC. Well, you could hack it into like PC gaming and not buying games to support companies, right, that are pushing DEA or DEI, whatever. This guy literally says that, well, we feel that $200 more or $150 to $175 more is an appropriate markup, and we understand that some people
can't afford it, but because you can't afford it, just play the Switch one, basically.
Yes.
Like, if you know that people can't afford it, then why would you mark it up like a heinous amount? And they have yet, by the way, to give out any type of details as to why it's far superior and is justifying, or why 150 is justified. So we literally just have to take you at your word. You tell us that, oh well, it's worth the price because of the X, Y, and Z, but you don't tell us. Man, like, it just irritates me, and it sucks because people will buy it. People will buy it. People will find a way to buy it. And if they can't find a way to buy it,
Yeah, unfortunately,
then
they'll go to scalpers and stuff like that and pay the stupid amount.
that's so bad, man. That's so bad that you have, and then he has the audacity to sit there and say, "We know people won't be able to afford it, but we're gonna keep the price point the same." Like, I'm sorry, but Nintendo has literally joined the ranks of Xbox and PS and PlayStation and Sony, like Microsoft and Sony.
Oh, 100%.
And for the longest time, I was hoping that they were kind of like the last company that really gave two flips of a window nickel over, the consumer, or they actually cared about the consumer. Like, and there's no, like, genuinely, do you really think they need to market at the $150 to compete within the market? Like, Nintendo has such a massive loyal following. And again, I don't have numbers, so it's going to be super subjective, but I would think in my head that, I mean, think about it, man, anytime we have Nintendo on sale at work, like, they just fly off the shelf, right?
Right.
They have the following to where you don't need to mark it
We
up
have no
that
idea
much.
how that's going to work or anything like that price is not.
Sorry, say that again.
So I said there's you have the following, you have the loyalty. People are going to buy your product no matter what, right?
Right.
So in my mind, I mean, that's just is it capitalism? Yeah, it is. But it's also greedy, and it's also just terrible, and just a dirty thing to do, to stand up and say that, like, we know that you're not going to be able to afford it, but we're going to do it anyways.
Right.
I,
Sorry, I was trying to look something up too, because I could have sworn I either saw it this morning or something about it was the price point for the Nintendo Switch was already set, and it has had nothing to do with these tariffs, but
no, unless they just thought that that was going to happen, but that's Japan, not China, right?
right. Yeah, it's Japan doing it.
What a just a slimy thing to do and to say. Like, absolutely, like, you can't afford it. So it's almost like they're making it like only like the rich only the rich can buy it, and then the poor and the peasants have to use the
The hand me down. Yeah, yeah. Well, I think we kind of brought that up even last week. It's like,
and I'll end it on this. What sucks the most about this is nobody will stop playing Nintendo. And even
yeah, unfortunately,
if like you and I are like, oh well, like, well, I'm not gonna buy the Switch 2, but here I am still playing the OLED. And that's the thing. It doesn't matter what they do, like they're still gonna get their money. They're still like,
well, that's when, if you're getting games, at least go to secondhand stores and stuff like that. Go to your local gaming store. Go buy the resell games and stuff like that, refurb games.
You'll still get a royalty, and you're still feeding the machine, if you will, to a certain extent. It's no different than,
well,
like,
if you're at
you
least
might feel a
getting
bit better
if you're at least getting the refurb game, or like I said, the resell game, that's at least helping out that store.
Yeah. It's like buying off
That's a
Steam,
little more
like,
direct to help them.
right. good night. Like I was having like that's so slimy. Like
It is really greasy.
What is worse than slimy or greasy? Like what would be like,
That's pretty. I
the,
mean, you know,
the level below. Like that is so like now that I'm sitting here and I've spoken for like 15, not 15 minutes, like 10 minutes or whatnot. Like that's just greasy, man, slimy. Like
it's very scummy.
yeah.
Shyster.
And
They are the shysters that you claimed them to be last week.
why would you say that? Like even if that was even if you thought it, like you just have the gumption just to come out and say it. Like there gonna be kids out there that will want this, but there might be families that can't afford it.
Yeah, parents will
And
be
like, okay,
desperately trying to get their hands on it and everything.
because it makes the parents feel like, well, like, I want to be able to, provide for my kid or give things to my kid that like I didn't have, and so they're gonna, try to find ways to make ends meet to get this for the kid. And it's like that's just I just don't think, in my mind, Nintendo needs to do that. They're not hurting for money. The bank's not running like the account's not running dry, right? Nintendo is a massive conglomerate. I don't know their numbers. Everything I'm saying is subjective, but like there's no need. And like I said, like I would feel much better, and I would probably change my stance if they came out in front of it and said, "Hey, this is the Switch one. This is the Switch. These are the specs, right? This is the Switch 2. These are the specs, right?
Right.
And if the specs on the second one justified the $150, then that's even a jump because I don't think it's that expensive. I don't think it's that expensive to probably create computer parts. I don't know. Hell, I mean, with AI and whatever. But if they had done that, at least we would be able to make up our minds for ourselves. No, we have to listen to this Bowser guy say, "Well, it's justified,"
I know.
without anything to chomp at the bit. He's just saying, "It's we feel that it's an appropriate." That's what we feel that it's an appropriate cost. Well, I think $5 a gallon of gas is not an effect. I think $1 for a gallon of gas is an appropriate cost.
It is.
But it's not. I just that just irritates me. And you can't boycott them. There's nothing you can do to hurt their pocketbook other than not buy the games. But like people will do it.
Yeah, you can only take the stance for yourself, because no matter how hard you try and tell people not to, they're just gonna either rebel against you or they're just gonna do it anyways just because that's what they wanted to do.
It's the Anheuser-Busch thing, man. It's like, you boycotted Anheuser, but you were drinking Modelo, right? What are you gonna do? You're gonna boycott Nintendo and just play Xbox? Like it's the same thing.
Yeah.
At least Microsoft has been consistent with their prices, right? They didn't just out of nowhere hike up. I get it's a little bit different because this is a handheld versus a
Yeah.
I don't know,
Basically home computer, just downsized.
like how much more is the Steam Deck compared to that? I think the basic level for Steam Deck, the level one was it not 500? Was it four? What was
For the Steam Deck.
Yeah, there was 3 levels that we reviewed. There was like 1, 2, and 3 for I think storage or gig, like whatever it was. I think the top level leveled out like $700, 600.
I'm grabbing it right now. So yeah, the basic Steam Deck without the OLED is $399, and then the Steam Deck with OLED, the first starter one in the mid range, is $549.
Okay, so do me this favor really quick. What are the we can't compare the graphics to freaking the two, but what are the graphics on the Steam Deck compared to like the Switch? You came off a couple like graphic or not graphics. I'm sorry, some specs off the Steam Deck.
The OLED or the
Sure, just the base model.
so the LCD.
Yeah.
So I don't know my computer parts very well, but the processor, a 7nm AMD APU with a CPU Zen 2. I have no idea what the hell any of these are. The GPU and 8 RDNA, 2 CUs, 1 to 1.6 gigahertz. Yeah, I wish I understood this a little better.
I guess my question would be
6 gigs of RAM.
Is that would make? I mean, you're getting your money's worth for the $400,
right? Because the Steam Deck. Also, they've been making a lot of games compatible with it, and that it can play Baldur's Gate 3. Since we've been even talking about it, it can play Assassin's Creed Shadows, Witcher 3, and I'm mainly looking Hogwarts Legacy, Elden Ring, Warframe. I'm talking, and these are games that can really use some graphical. They can be very graphically spec'd. It can play Cyberpunk, No Man's Sky, so it's got power behind it. Yeah, the Steam Deck can do that. Yes.
So at this point in time, with that being said, the Steam Deck's base model, like Nintendo's not even competing against them because they
don't have to. Nintendo doesn't have to compete. They can just keep doing their own thing because they've got brand recognition beyond anybody else.
Right, but the point that I'm trying to make is like they're not even competing with them because, or they're not trying to keep like in line with them. They're charging $100 more. Well, about $99 more for the Switch 2 than the base model Steam Deck.
And according to Shaka Zulu here, Steam Deck upgrades are free too. So go figure. And oh yeah, the upgrades to play it on the Steam Deck. So those are free. You get to, if you already own the game, then yeah, it gets upgraded to play on there.
So I guess if the Steam Deck was $500 or let's say $450, and you were trying to compete with them, then I guess it would make sense in my mind if you charged, $449, or if you were trying to keep in line with them, right?
Right.
But that's also like, and I'm not just talking about price. I'm talking about like specs and everything, right? Like that would make sense.
Yeah.
But like they don't like, and I can't say this with absolute authority because we don't know what the specs are. But it's like they're not even competing with them. They charged $100 more than the Steam Deck, and the OLED, I guarantee you, will not play Shadows or Cyberpunk or any of these other games. Could be wrong, but don't.
Yeah, if anything, it might be toned down drastically from what the original versions looked like.
So again, like this is why and I don't want to spend the whole stream talking about it, but like this is why like I'm so frustrated because it's like you're not even like you're just a shiest. Like you guys are just
good. Let your hate flow through you.
Does that not make sense though? Like
no, the thing is I'm fully on board with you. That's just it. Like I like hearing you rant and rave about a company instead of me for once.
Guy. I'm not even a computer guy, and I can tell you that like this doesn't make any sense. Like I have no idea what an M dot is, but like if you had 6 of them, I would assume that that's a lot, and that probably justifies whatever money, right?
Right. No, it's frustrating. It's frustrating.
I'm gonna put it to bed after this. The thing that frustrates me the most is that they're gonna get away with it because people will find a way to buy it, and people will buy it because of the brand loyalty, and that's the power. That's why there's power in the brand.
100%.
I take the stance that like if you are building a brand, you should find a way to be profitable, but 2, make sure that you're able to provide your brand for everybody to experience your brand. I mean, that's the whole point. Unless you just want the rich to be able to, you want to supply for the rich and screw the poor.
I
And
mean,
again, like I said, it's 450.
oh,
I mean, 450 is a lot of money for some families. It's a
well,
lot of money for me. I'm not going to spend 450. I even bought the new Xbox because the new Xbox is $500. I'm not going to spend, $500 on it.
well, no, and also like really speaking to that whole thing of like the price hikes and stuff like that. I wish we had this when we were talking about it last week, but it's also relevant to this one right here. Hang on, I'm trying to find the tweet really quick. Hang on. There we go. Okay. So found that this happened to come onto my feed. So for one, I found this first thanks to the Dragon's Treasure on X, where it was, since I found out last night, Nintendo hasn't even had debts since 2009. Their price hikes have become even more disgusting in my eyes. Because again, this is on this, and then the account Nasmer9, he posted proof for people who don't believe. The last reported debt they had was 13 mil in 2009. So Nintendo has been sitting very comfortably for quite a while. And as I said, I was like, this would have been some juicy info for our Switch discussion last night, which I found that Sunday. And I said, and you're more justified. And I said how you're more justified in calling them shysters. But, regardless, no matter what, I don't find them justified in any way upping their price on the console the way they have. Like, if anything, it should have taken the place of the OLED.
Right. And here's the thing, and I'm not an economist.
And same goes for their games. They don't need to hike the price ups of their games.
Right. I'm not an economist, but even if you were in debt, why would you hike up your prices so astronomically to where the most, just the blue collar family in America could not afford it? Like, if you're in debt, the point is for you to sell through units versus hiking it up to a point where people aren't going to buy it. Again, I could be wrong. I'm not Mr. Wonderful or Mark Q. I hate Mark Q. And I'm not that knowledgeable about running a business or not. But in my mind, you want to be able to sell those to everybody versus just a select few. Like, if you're just targeting the 1%, well, what about the other 99 that can't buy? And the thing is, like, kids, like it's so disgusting. And
that part's not so bad. The game itself is
expensive. Put it to bed after that. I put it to bed.
All right.
It's unless you have anything else, but yeah, I don't.
No,
it's not,
I mean,
as of right now, I don't. As of right now, I can't justify the price because they have, ironically and very interestingly, not released any type of specs on it. In my mind, like, that's why I don't justify it. I wouldn't justify even if they did.
No, I wouldn't either.
You know what I'm gonna do? What I'm really tempted to do is go buy a Steam Deck. Like, very, very tempted to go do that.
It definitely makes the Steam Decks look way more attractive. Yes.
And I don't know who makes, this is a dumb question. I don't know who makes Steam Deck, the company, but
Valve.
Valve, I may be considering giving my money to Valve, and I don't know if they're a reputable company, but I would as of now, I would say they're probably more reputable than Nintendo.
Yeah, a little, just a smidge. Like any company, they definitely have their problems. They're not perfect. So,
sure,
but
it doesn't seem like
they've been having just a little bit of just a little bit of better goodwill than
yeah. But they're charging what they're charging, and you're getting your money's worth.
Yeah.
In my mind, right?
Right.
That's the thing. Like, you can, if I can play, I didn't play Cyberpunk, but if I can play Cyberpunk or
no, it's a graphic intensive game,
yeah. But like I'm saying, if I can play like the same games that I can play on my main console, then they're going to charge me $400, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because it's going to save me having to buy an actual computer, which is, or creating a computer, which, everywhere from 1,000 to 500, and I can take it places, right? That's,
Yeah.
it's just, that's the benefit of doing it. And I'm justified doing that. I would feel much more justified doing that, if that makes sense. So I think we should boycott. Well, I think we should just really strongly consider getting a Steam Deck. If you get one, I'll get one.
You don't have to follow me in anything, sir, but I mean, I'll let you know if I decide to.
Like, have you strongly considered
I've
it?
pondered it. I just, again, I said it last week. I just don't.
You don't go a lot of places to where, like, and I'm not.
No, you're not.
Like,
no. I'm very much a homebody, and I said it last week. I said it last week. I believe with gaming, it's something I reserve for being at home to do.
Right.
To me, it's a bit different. I mean, it would definitely be great to have for like a road trip or something like that, but otherwise, it's like,
unless you just want to like play in your bed or
right.
Like, to your point, like you probably have a nice. Well, now you have a nice computer chair now that the other one died.
Yeah.
And you have your setup, and honestly, like the Steam Deck's probably not gonna. It's not gonna compare to what your computer is, what you have.
You never know, more or less.
Like, well, I'm sure you have a supercomputer that can freaking hack the Chinese firewall. But so for you, it probably wouldn't make much sense because you have a strong computer and and you don't go anywhere. Like
right.
But for me, who doesn't know anything about computers, you could give me a really crappy computer, and I would probably think it's absolutely amazing because I'm not used to
right. No, I get what you're saying.
I don't know what a good computer looks like.
Right.
But I will strongly consider it. I will strongly. I don't even. How do you even get them? Can you buy them at stores, or do you have to buy them online?
Last I knew, you had to get them through Valve directly. Yeah.
See,
so on like,
I don't trust freaking packaging, man. I don't trust UPS. I've seen them freaking pack their cars. But yeah, like
that's fair.
Any
I haven't looked in a while. I believe, and let me check their thing right now. Oh wait, that's just checking their regions. Check libraries, compatibility.
I wonder why people do that. Like why they just they sell like just online only, I wonder why.
It's keeping directly with just them. They're keeping a main direct. Yeah, they're cutting out any extra, retailers, or because retailers would probably charge them or whatever to give shelf space to the consoles, even though I'm sure there would be probably some people out there that'd be more than happy to probably, there's probably like the third part, the like resell stores and stuff like that, the little mom and pop game shops, they'll probably order like maybe like a couple to put on the store floor sort of thing. But otherwise, yeah,
like
they're
you're not gonna find at Best Buy or
no. The things that you'll find at like Best Buy and Target and stuff like that are those like Asus handhelds, which are kind of comparable to the Steam Deck.
I saw those at work. We should maybe sometime review those because I was curious if they were like comparable.
I believe that some of them are, yes. I just haven't really looked into them too deeply. If I was going to go for another handheld, I'd just go for a Steam Deck just because it's directly from Steam and I know that it would work. And I know from what I understand too, because Steam Deck is like, it's Linux based and everything. I know that it can also do, you can load your GOG games on there and play those. So your library just opened up even more with the DRM free style games. So it's like, it's a win-win in that situation. So
like, can you, any games that you have on your actual computer, can you download or transfer to your Steam? Like if you have a Steam account,
you can't just transfer. Like if you have a CD key from like an old game or something like that, you could possibly throw it into the Steam the Steam launcher through adding a game and then activate product and stuff like that, and then put in the CD key if you still have one of those sort of things. Sure, but like if you have games from other accounts like Ubisoft or GOG, there isn't always like you can just like, let me try and cross share and get it activated on Steam as well. No, it's kind of, those are kind of generally locked.
This is a dumb question, but just to be clear, so Steam Deck has no affiliation with like Steam, the website where you can buy games from.
They're the one and the same, yes.
Oh, they are. Okay, and so you're saying Valve. Okay.
Yeah.
Valve. Okay.
I know they have such weird naming conventions, but yeah, that's.
So I have a Steam account, and I have my games. I can play.
Yeah, any games. And you can like even like check your library and everything to see what is. And you can even get like refurbished models of the Steam Deck, which might be a little bit cheaper.
Yeah.
So, although right now they're out of stock. But that is also something to keep an eye out for, if you really wanted to. And then you could check on there. You can see what games are verified right now. There's a lot. There is a lot. They've been
they're sold out of the Steam Deck online.
No, those were the refurb models.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Melissa Lord says my PC lets me play anything for free. I play Zelda with a PS2 controller on PC. Nice. I'm a little bit of a spastic with that. Like sometimes like some of the Nintendo games, I need the fitting controller. Especially when I play the N64 games on my computer. Like I got like a cheapy USB Nintendo 64 controller that works perfectly, and that gives me the old feel of using those controllers without having to actually have it and have the system hooked up, because I'm just weird like that. Like some of the games I just need that same specific controller. Otherwise I can use like my I have a PS4 controller hooked up to play my PS2 emulator and PS1 emulator. And I use it for other stuff too, arcade games and everything like that. So, but yeah, Dan Blackred also said gamers will still pay it. Nintendo fans will justify anything for more Mario Kart. Yep. More the bing bing wahoo. Melissa Lord said this is why she sails the seas for everything. Shaka Zulu had said this is big ask from Nintendo. They do price hikes, then can blame tariffs. Then they can say, "Oh, see, price isn't bad now, is it?" Yeah, exactly.
The tariffs have nothing to do with it, though. I think.
I don't know. I don't know. I couldn't find anything to legitimize that. So that might have been just somebody talking out of their ass this morning. I'll have to wait and see. And then Chakazulu said, exactly, unlike having to pay to play Breath of the Wild on Switch too. Okay, so I was on the Dan Blackbird says, can you play movies on the Steam Deck? Yes, I believe you can. You could watch Thunderbolts anywhere. That's right. Endless possibilities, says Dan Blackbird. You got it. Melissa Lord says, yep, I played Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom on my PC with a PS4 controller. I did that. I think I did.
How did you do that though?
I did that with Metroid Dread. I used either my Xbox controller or something like that. But yeah, I like the Xbox controller. I don't know what can I say. I've come to like that thing.
It's far superior than anything Sony's ever produced.
I still liked at least the PS4 controller. That one feels at least a little better in my hands, but I didn't like the feel of the PS5. So I don't control. What's that?
I can't do it. The PlayStation controllers just suck. Absolutely terrible. But again, that's coming from a guy that has always played Xbox, so
fair enough. Chakazula says, I want to buy one of those too. What do you want to buy? The N64 controller? Like I found it on Amazon, dude. You can find it for cheap on Amazon. I hate to give Amazon props, but yeah. Dan Blacker said, tell us more about the tool you use to abandon helpless citizens needing to be saved. No tools required. I just walk away. And then he said, do you plug in your controller when you leave Morden to die? No, that's when I unplug the controller and I leave him to die. So I don't have to do a damn thing. I just let him die. Melissa Lord says emulators let you do it as long as you have the hardware. Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's really easy to set up usually. Just got to map the keys, and once your system detects it, you're golden. But yeah, it is unfortunate. I've been at my odds with Nintendo for a long time, so
even before this.
Yeah, like I said, I had my problems with them when they launched the Wii. So I've been at odds for a while. I just tried giving them a chance with the Wii U, and then I was like, all right, let's see what happens with the Switch if I really get into it. I regret getting the Switch, but that is what it is.
You mean even for Mario Kart you regret it?
We will have to play Mario Kart, huh?
Yeah.
Because you keep bringing it up, and it sounds like you really want to play Mario Kart.
Yes.
Okay, we'll have to arrange that then.
Though, and that's the thing. You know what's so funny? It's not funny, but what's ironic about this is that they launched this with the Mario Kart 9 bundle.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Mario Kart World.
Like, yeah. So, of course, they've, they've got to do their flagship.
Absolutely.
Game.
Absolutely. Hey, Steve, how's it going? Saying I gave up at GameCube. I would have too. I should have. I should have stayed with the GameCube. Personally. I love that thing. That thing was great. Dan Blacker says emulation, just like when Legion had to emulate himself into the Geth systems to clean up your mess. Hey, that he was cleaning up the Quarian's mess, not mine. That I had nothing to do with. Melissa Lord, she's saying she's currently playing Final Fantasy 16. How is that one? I'm such a talk about another thing I'm at odds with is the Final Fantasy series. God damn. They should have stopped a long time ago. I just haven't been able to get into them too much anymore.
Why not?
I just haven't. The stories haven't interested me like they used to.
Really?
Yeah, like so many things. I really think there was a point where my enthusiasm and everything for the gaming industry just died. And I just don't get, like, I try to get excited, but it just doesn't hit the same. Nothing hits the same way like it used to.
Well, because they don't come out with any good games anymore.
Pretty much.
Like, if Gears of War is bad.
Oh, God. I've been watching Melee Games play Gears of War 5.
Yeah, it's not the great. Is that with Kate?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the last one. Yeah. I don't like because it's freaking open world, man. Gears of War has never really been open world, like in the perspective of, like SWTOR. Like you always you went to different, places, different levels and whatnot. And I don't like that, man. And also it's like very much like the storylines like for the kids, right? It continues the story with the kids. And I'm just like, no, like
characters are obnoxious, so
they're not great. No, I want Baird, I want Cole, I want Dom, I want
yeah, and it seems like they slag off on those characters, like they just completely like put them in the shits. It's like, dude,
they bring Marcus back, but he's like a schoolboy girl, man. He's like, in the glory days, and it's like, nah, man. But what was I gonna say? Yeah, no, if they ruin it, I will literally.
Yeah, that's right. Aren't they getting ready for Gears 6 or something?
It's Emergence Day.
Yeah, Emergence Day.
That's what we need to do. We need to do like Gears of War,
Oh, like a
Like, you gotta
co-op
figure out how to-
playthrough?
Yes. Like, you gotta figure out how to either get it on your PC. I don't know if you can get it on PC. I'm sure you probably could. Maybe.
But doing co-op play would be a little difficult.
It would, but I don't know how that works, but I'm sure if anybody could figure it out, it's you or Melee Games could figure it out. But that's what we need to do because the gameplay is I mean, that would be really
Wasn't
fun.
the first Gears of War on Xbox 360?
Yes.
Do you still have your copy of it?
Yes.
And you have an Xbox Series X or something, right?
Yeah.
So if I possibly resurrected my Xbox 360, we would be able to do co-op play that way.
I just give you the hard copy, the games. Because I've kept all of them.
Yeah, but you wouldn't have a copy of your own then if you gave me yours, right? Unless you have duplicates.
I have the digital.
Oh,
I
you have
bought
both. Oh, you got the digital as well.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, brother. Just in case, like, like the apocalypse happens and I can't access my I can't access digital.
Okay. We might have to talk about this a little bit more off stream.
Yeah.
But since we have around the same kind of, vacation time off and everything, we might have to work that out.
I think that if you played it, you would fall in love. I mean, it's such a you've been talking to Melee. I'm sure Melee game they've been.
He's loved the. I never understood the big thing about it, but
so good, dude.
Okay, so I see Gears of War Ultimate Edition for Windows 10.
Yeah, the ultimate. It should be 1, 2, and 3. It should come with 1, 2, and 3.
Okay.
I don't know if
or I could. I don't want to give. Maybe I'll just. Yeah, I'll have to. Because I've been thinking about going to one of the game stores in our area.
Yeah.
And maybe getting a 360 again.
I will buy you the game if you play. It's that, like, if you end up playing this and you just don't like it, then there's we've got to check you into some type of mental institution because it's so good. And this is the thing. This is why I'm such a fan of the franchises because one game, they're all great and I could not find flaws in any of the three. We've talked about this, some first game's better than obviously the first game's better than the second's better than the third, but 1, 2, and 3 they're all just fantastic, man. And I'm biased, but I could not find anything wrong with all three of them. Now 4 and 5, absolutely not a fan, right? Played them obviously because they're the part of the franchise, but when we talk about those three games, they're in my opinion, they're just their peak, man. What better than waking up with a lancer and lancing just one of one of the locusts, man? It's just that's where it's at.
So do you have this Ultimate Edition as well, or?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. I should have figured if you're.
Oh yeah,
being the super fan that you are.
Dude, I've got the cogs, brother. I got the metal, the cog tags, dude.
Oh, okay. I think I remember seeing those.
Yeah, I should wear those at work. What are those? Cog tags. Coalition of Government.
Dan Blackroyd is warning you, saying, "Hitman, do not let Fractured choose your extraction chip. Trust me." Hey! I wouldn't betray him. I never leave a soldier behind. I just leave children behind to die by Reapers. That's all. Morden chose his own death. Legion chose his own death. I had nothing to do with us. Melissa Lord had said it's pretty good so far for Final Fantasy 16. Good to hear. Dan Blackroyd said, "Did you see in that article before they said something about Final Fantasy 9 remake?" Oh no, I think I saw Final Fantasy 9 off to the side, but Oh, I don't want a remake of that. I actually liked that game. That was that was like the last Final Fantasy I really got into and beat and enjoyed. Of that once after 9, it was for me it was all downhill.
What's the difference between Final Fantasy and Kingdom Hearts?
Oh god.
I always
Kingdom
get them
Hearts
mixed.
is a much more action beat 'em up
Okay.
ish with some light RPG mechanics, and also it's blended. It's more Disney focused, really, but it does have guest appearances by um by like Final Fantasy characters and stuff.
Did you ever play it or no?
I played the first game.
That's
And
the way people would say like the soundtrack's fantastic, the game like so what's Final Fantasy then, other than the movie?
So Final Fantasy, I mean, the game series started as literally it was going to be their Square Enix's, no, not Square, Square Soft, I believe at the time, was going to be legitimately their last game. So this was like a Hail Mary, and they called it the Final Fantasy because that's what I thought it was going to be. It was just, this was going to be their final game, and it blew up. It was a big hit. And now it turned, and then they had Final Fantasy 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and it just blew up. It hasn't stopped when they probably should have a while ago.
What's the point of the game though? Is it like an RPG? Is it like
Yeah, it's an RPG.
Okay.
Especially if it was always coined as a JRPG, a Japanese RPG, because of the gameplay in terms of like the turn-based combat. And
like a dungeon crawler, like Diablo.
a bit, and all, but also like it was the turn-based action and stuff like that, and also, you know, it's just very over exaggerated in the fashion of the Japanese. So you know that it was just
turn-based,
and it's also very grindy. They could be very grindy. Like you kind of have to stay in some areas, like level up, and then move on to the next spots and stuff. So.
This might be a bad example when you say turn-based, like Pokemon or like.
Yes, no. That was their old play style. Now they've adapted it to be more action based, in some of the later games, and some of them they deceptively act like, huh?
Those turn-based games, like you've got to be really strategic.
Some of them, yes, especially like Final Fantasy Tactics and stuff like that. You had to really like know where you needed to put your team and stuff like that. Final Fantasy Tactics is probably the quintessential Final Fantasy game. It has one of the best stories out there. And this is fantastic.
I just want to give a quick shout out. So Tim just kind of posted on your Twitter, but shout out to Tim Open Airlock and everything that him, Star Wars Marvel Purist, OG are doing, gatekeeping.
Oh, the Gatekeepers Alliance, yeah.
Yeah, I kind of want to talk about that, but we do that next stream. But yeah, just shout out to them, man. Like they're just doing amazing stuff over there. To keep speaking truth, but you two guys, you guys are awesome, and so thankful that we're able to well, I don't not officially meet them, but you know, be able to converse with them and follow.
Are you referring to this post here? The if you like Andor, you're a Disney shill. These are the real founders of the Rebel Alliance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, he commented under your Saturday Night Sith.
Oh.
But
I thought I was like, oh yeah, this is awesome. But hang on.
Yeah. So we'll have to start gatekeeping ourselves.
Well, I mean, we do that in our own fashion too, but not.
We do.
They are. I love what they're doing. They're doing awesome stuff over there, and I mean, they got powerhouses of knowledge when it comes to Star Wars and everything that I just wish I could get even close to at this time. And especially when they you know, they rip into everything, it's like I wish my brain could, you know, sort through all the files, bring them up and be like, holy crap, and then, you know, tear them apart. I had to have so much shit just for when we were trying to rip apart Star Wars theories bullshit.
Yeah. Soon though, Takes time. Yeah, I would assume that Tim and Laura. They've been. My goodness, if you look at all the relics of the day, man, like they've been
Oh yeah.
on for a long time, and people just have. People just have that gift, man. Like,
Oh yeah.
like the encyclopedia.
Here we go.
But
As he said, keep speaking truth, and we will, brother.
I do miss the spacing though. So Tim,
I know.
The people have spoken. They want the spacing back, man. But good on him that he's taken the time and living his life and whatnot. But we do miss it.
Yeah, it was quintessential for usually my Saturday mornings because I always had to catch the replay.
Well, that and then just like him and Greg, I remember coming home late, coming home from work, or well, it was I guess Thursday. Was it off the tracks? It'd be Thursday nights.
I think off the tracks are Thursday nights.
Yeah,
that or Wednesdays. It'd be either of the two.
Either way. But anyway, sorry, rabbit hole.
No problem. Okay. 5:30. Okay, we're doing good. What shall we get into next, sir? Do you got anything?
I'm tired of Nintendo, man.
Okay, something non-Nintendo related. Okay.
Well, just non-Nintendo.
All right, let me just touch on the chat really quick here. Dan Blackridge said completely skipping 8. It looks like 8 was a mixed bag for me. I don't hate it, don't love it. It's not bad. Melissa Lord says Hitman is right. They don't make that many great games anymore. 110%. Dan Blackridge said nobody could deal with that confusion these days. Too complicated with 8. The leveling system alone would be too much for modern gamers. It will. Even though, like, to me, it feels so straightforward and simple. It's like, yeah, no problem.
How many Final Fantasy legit are there? Like, are there as many as
Assassin's Creed? Okay, so mainline, there's 16, like Melissa Lord pointed out. There's 16.
Good
Two of them are MMORPGs. That was Final Fantasy 11 and 14. Those were the MMOs, but then the rest were kind of part of the mainline Final Fantasies. And then you do have Final Fantasies that are spin-offs and kind of either additions to the stories of particular games. Like there was a Final Fantasy 13 Versus, there was Final Fantasy, a bunch of they have milked the shit out of Final Fantasy 7. So they had like Final Fantasy 7, Crisis Core, Dirge of Cerberus. There was some mobile games and stuff like that. I liked Crisis Core for Final Fantasy 7. It was good. I liked getting kind of some backstory of Zack, but I didn't really care for the weird random insert characters that they put in, Angeal and I forget the other guy, but yeah, they brought in a couple extra characters that were just like, why? Just give me my Sephiroth action. But yeah.
You played all 16?
No. I've played Final Fantasy basically I played 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have played 11. I started 12, but I dropped it because I couldn't stand the character and I just couldn't really get into the game. Never touched 13. I played 14. And then I played the one with the boy band, which I believe was 15. And that was where I'm just like, I didn't even beat 15. I played a bit of it, but I didn't get to the end. I watched my brother get to that point. So I was just kind of like, whatever.
Have you ever endeavored to like play all of them?
I've definitely wanted to go back and play like some of the originals, yes. But play all of them? Oh, and I of course played
that would
Final
be
Fantasy. I've
pretty-
played the Final Fantasy Crisis Core, Dirge of Cerberus, and Final Fantasy Tactics. I tried to start the Final Fantasy Tactics Advanced. I couldn't stand that one for gameplay because they brought in these stupid judges that tried to add variables to the field. I didn't feel it was necessary. I thought it was stupid. I dropped it. But yeah, so those are definitely some of the ones that I've played.
That's insane. That
It is. And I just wish they would kind of, chill it out a little bit. And I would love if they went, you know what? I would have loved old Square to go back and maybe make another like Chrono series, be a third game to kind of, because I know a lot of people had a problem with Chrono Cross, but I loved it. I loved Chrono Cross. I thought that game was great. Chrono Trigger is obviously the superior of the two, but I loved Chrono Cross. I could have gone for a third game, kind of maybe mixing everything up, but yeah, they've just also they've let other things just die and go to the wayside. It's just like, what the hell are you doing?
Like, who has time for that, man? Like, it was.
Once upon
there's
a
lot
time,
to
I
call.
did. Well, and I
There's a
technically
lot
still
playing all
do.
the
It's not like,
freaking-
huh?
It was a lot playing all the freaking Gears of War games, man.
Well, you were doing that. I was into RPGs and stuff like that. So, but I also I enjoyed my shooters. But I played my JRPGs. I enjoyed them.
Yeah.
I mean, those were coming out. They were coming out when I was a kid and everything. So I got the easy chance to play them.
Yeah.
Especially like 8, I played when that came out. 7, I got introduced to. 7 was my introduction to the series.
Well,
I
and the
was
thing with, like,
in.
RPGs, man, like there can be potentially so many ways to beat them. Like, you know how many different ways there are to beat freaking like Knights of the Old Republic?
Oh yeah.
I mean, there's a lot, not like hundreds, obviously.
I mean,
but,
light side, dark side, but then also depending on what choices you make throughout the game. That was
Right.
kind of the changer right there. Was getting the quote unquote player's choice.
Yeah. So, with that being said, I mean, that to play 16 games and then like be able to like, and if you're like a trophy collector, like I don't know if there's trophies in there or not, but to do every single thing, like even like the Assassin's Creed, man, like there's like if you follow the main story, like fine, but like if you wanted to complete everything, like there's so much, man. There's so much. I mean, that was the whole point why I think they did like freaking, was it Mirage or something? It was the one that was like the shortest Assassin's Creed ever because people were complaining they were too long. But here's the deal: if I'm going to spend $80 on a game, you're darn right I want the game to be 80, 90 hours worth of gameplay. That's insane.
Damn, you want them long games?
Well, yeah. If you're paying $100 for a game, would you not?
Well, especially now, yeah.
It's just kind of crazy. I don't know about you if you want to play freaking.
Well, I do like getting to a point where I'm ready to beat the game and everything. But yeah, I understand what you mean. You sometimes having a nice, good amount of time to be able to play.
Yeah.
Oh, Nerdy Neo had come in and said, and hey, Nerdy Neo, how's it going, dude? Gears Ultimate is only Gears 1. There is no collection yet.
Really? That's crazy.
You were wrong.
Maybe. What do I have then? Because I have all 3 of them. I thought there were. Oh, you know what? Maybe I'm mixing up with the Master Chief Collection. But I thought there was.
Yeah, you might. Okay, yeah, you might have
Wow.
confused with the Master Chef Collection.
Well, but here at the end of the day, I have all the good games, so it's not like it doesn't.
Right.
I paid the money.
We might have to figure that out, though.
Nerdy Neo needs to play with us. That would be fun if we did like a stream.
Well, that's what I figured we would do. We'd do it as a stream because I'm sure our shenanigans would be funny.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you just walking off a cliff has provided me with countless reuses of, of clips for the intros.
Don't you start.
I'm complimenting you, sir. You have a way of making things very entertaining. I mean, you're probably one of the best parts of Wormhole Watch with your Bajoran hate and everything.
Okay, here again. We're not gonna get.
I know I'm being genuine. Because like I said, I also think you're at least asking questions of both Brad and Adam and everything. Like I'm just kind of there to watch the show.
I will tell you that it is not hate. It is a absolute just justifiable. I went to work the other day and I was like, the best part of that episode was that a Bajorn died, and people work like, oh dear.
But not enough Bajorans because you were disappointed it was just the one.
No, they all need to be eviscerated.
Oh, that village especially needed a nuke. I don't disagree with you there.
And then Brad's like, well, they painted them wrong. I was like, no, don't blame it on that specific plan. They've been bad long before them.
Dan Blackreddit says Final Fantasy VII was the big jump. That game made it a household name for gamers. Like I said, it was that was my introduction to the series. And then I definitely had to go back and I found out about 6, quote unquote 3 for the Super Nintendo in the US release, but I had to go and check out some of the other ones. I played 6 and I was like, holy shit, this is great. Melissa Lord says the first 3 for the NES were grindy. Yeah, I guess you're kind of right. I felt like 6 could be a little grindy because I know I ran into some trouble with some of the bosses in that game. 7, definitely less so. 7, I definitely got through a lot of bosses pretty easy and everything. But I still grinded in some areas just to get my level up just so I could just stomp bosses and enemies. Melissa Lord says Final Fantasy 16 is more modern JRPG. Its gameplay is modern and not turn-based. Yeah. Okay, that's more accurate than what I said. Dan Blackred said the people have demanded the pacing. The future revolution will be televised. 13 was a trilogy, was it? Genesis. Shakazula says I still need to play Gears 2. Dan Blackbird says the first 6 are great to go back to back. And then Nerdy Neo says Gears 1 and 2 are 2-player co-op, but Gears 3 is 4-player. Okay, so if we were to actually get the 3, then we could start including more people.
Yeah.
And he says he'd be down for Gears 3.
Like,
well, if we work that out, Nerdy Neo, we know who to hit up. So,
dude, like the Krill that's what nightmares are made out of, man.
I'll have to give that. I guess I'll just finally have to give the refrigerators behind cover a chance.
That's the most disrespectful thing that show.
That was like the thing that stood out to me the most from the game reviewer Yahtzee Croshaw. He said they were like a bunch of refrigerators that tried to hide behind cover.
Well, he himself looks like a refrigerator.
You don't even know what he looks like.
I'm just saying.
Is it in regards to their big bulky frames, basically?
Oh, I know. That's the thing, man. Some of the greatest lines out of the gaming industry have been birthed out of that game, like Marcus Phoenix, "Hey, down in front." You know, I mean, was it DiMaggio? I forget his first name, but the voice actor for Marcus Phoenix was like, just some of the greatest lines ever. It's like, "Revive me."
I was like kind of thinking, bro, down in front is a very generic term.
No.
Yes.
No. It's because they stole it from Gears of War.
All right, since you're the birthday boy, I'll let you have that one.
You don't think?
But yeah, like I said, off air, we'll have to talk about that and we'll have to figure it out. So I think we maybe got one more article in us. I think I have one that at least is kind of off the beaten path of video games and stuff like that. And I was kind of curious to check this one out. Yeah, sure. Why not? Let's do this one. You can see it in Discord.
Yeah.
Okay. Here we have Power Rangers star Walter Emmanuel Jones denies racism behind his Black Ranger casting. Quote, calling it a mistake would dismiss the impact it had on countless people. So rather than looking at his Black Ranger casting as a case of unconscious racism, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers star Manuel Jones says that he views his time tuned into Morphin Grid as nothing less than an honor. The latest round of Power Rangers related discourse kicked off on April 8th, courtesy of former series writer and Saba, otherwise known as Tommy's White Ranger era Talking Tiger Saber, voice actor Tony Oliver, which makes me kind of think Tommy Oliver was a bit of an insert. Appearing as a featured speaker on the newest episode of the Investigation Discovery underbelly of the entertainment industry. Apparently, docuseries Hollywood Demons, itself aptly named Dark Side of the Power Rangers. I'm going to find this and watch this. I am damned curious about this now. Oliver, because I've heard of some of the drama with the Power Rangers, especially when it first got kicked off. Some of the actors were trying to either negotiate for better conditions, better pay, and stuff like that. And then they ultimately did end up leaving because the company wasn't budging and the whole cast did not stand by them, as I understand, or at least weren't quite as in on it. But there's some interesting tales behind this. It's kind of funny. Oliver lamented how, despite the fact that none of us were thinking stereotypes, when casting Jones as Zach Taylor and the late Thuy Trang as Trini Kwan, the series was able to run for a full 2 seasons without anyone calling out the fact the black character was the Black Ranger and the Asian character was the Yellow Ranger. I mean, come on. Any of us watching it when we were younger certainly weren't putting those two things together. At least I don't think I was. That's for sure. Certainly not until us older.
The girl. I thought the yellow was the girl.
Yellow and pink were the girls in the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. But it's really funny because actually in the Zayu Ranger series, Yellow was a boy, but they played around with that.
Or gender swapped them.
Well, they weren't 1-to-1 copying the original Sentai series, so they kind of have a bit of leeway.
Was the White Ranger white?
No.
See?
Well, it's a Japanese TV show. They weren't bringing in a bunch of extra actors from out of the country or anything. I think they might have. No, they didn't have to, and the shows were great. Well, at least the ones that I watched. So the ones that I watched were pretty goddamn entertaining. And the funny thing, the White Ranger was actually a kid, but when he morphed into the White Ranger, the tiger, or whatever, he was then grown up size. Magic. Anyways, quote my
TV show, not the actual the live action.
They're live action TV shows, whatever. They're TV shows. I don't know. But you should watch them sometime. They're wild. But
I watched the old school one, with Zod or Zed or General Zed.
That's the Power Rangers, yeah. The ones I'm talking about are the Sentai series, where it all originated from. Although Lord Zed was an original creation for the Power Rangers, and he looked badass.
He did. I got scared into that witch woman.
Oh, Rita Repulsa? Yeah.
Yeah.
But sure,
Where's the Sentai thing? You have to give it to me or drop the link. I've never seen it before.
Yes, the Sentai series is what Sentai is what they call this sort of style of like their superheroes and stuff like that. The whole masked costume ranger or whatever you want to call them, but that's what it's referred to over there. And I don't know, I'm not explaining it very well, but that's just how I know it. And that's where it all originated from, was from Japan. And then Ban Sabai or whatever took that footage and was like, hey, we can repurpose this shit and make our own. And they did that. And they even did copy a few storylines from the Zayu Rangers. So anyway, continuing on, my assistant pointed it out in a meeting one day, said the Green Ranger's namesake of the moment he realized the connection, it was such a mistake. Why? Oh, what? Because it's the same? However, while Oliver seems to be fermenting in guilt over this casting decision, which, speaking frankly, every person who ever watched or even know of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers had long laughed off as one of those, oh wow, how did no one catch that? Funny coincidence, Jones himself could not disagree more with this retroactive read of his arguably most famous role. I don't know what this comic's about, but anyways, taking to his personal Instagram account on April 10th, Jones shared a number of headlines from various outlets covering Oliver's quote unquote mistake admission and responded, quote, incredible how many media outlets picked this up. However, while some choose to seek out negativity, I've always believed in focusing on the positive. I understand the impulse to address what might be seen as cultural insensitivity, but calling it a mistake would dismiss the impact it had on countless people around the world who found inspiration and representation in TV's first black superhero, morphing into none other than the Black Power Ranger, he proudly exclaimed, although I'm pretty sure there were, I don't know if Static Shock was out around then, but I mean, I'm pretty sure there's some comic book heroes. And there was probably some heroes on TV. Anyway. I mean, come on. They had Mr. T on the A-Team, for God's sake. You tell me he wasn't a superhero? Come on. His kryptonite was milk. No, it was flying. Never mind. They used the milk to get him onto the plane. Anyways, it wasn't a mistake. It was a milestone. It was an honor. In providing evidence that his opinion was not knee-jerk, one, but rather one he had held for a long time, Jones pointed to a March appearance he made on famed voice actor Jim Cummings' Tuned In with Jim Cummings podcast. That is an unfortunate last name. Where he discussed this very topic. Walter Jones on Power Rangers being racially prejudiced was, I guess, that one above. Quote, I found it to be quite powerful, the actor said. Said of his time behind the controls of the Mastodon Dinozord. Because here I am, a young black kid from Detroit, predominantly a black city, and the time that I grew up in was a time where there was James Brown saying loud, I'm black and I'm proud. So it's like there was a shift from being ashamed of being black to people being very proud of being black. And growing up in a black city and then becoming black. Oh God, black. How many times has he said black in this one paragraph? In a black suit. I was like, let's go. This is perfect for me. For the quote, the idea of me being a black suit never bothered me, he added. In fact, I was happy about it. When I saw it, I was like, I want this one. And they were like, that's yours. So he chose it. There you go. Why is that guy acting like a butthurt bitch? So that's that. A little bit of kind of positivity instead of like the usual, negative PR swings and everything. A guy trying to have that guilt of putting these characters in particular colored suits. I mean, nobody's quite. Nobody. No, I mean, come on.
Black a lot.
He did say black a lot, though. Oh yeah, he didn't let go of that one. But I mean, it sounded like he was on a podcast, so he's kind of free form talking. He kind of just repeat yourself quite a bit. I know I do. I know I do with the old boy, especially when we're watching Wormhole Watch. When we're watching Deep Space Nine.
That's your line, though, man.
I feel like I like last time I was like, I feel like I'm doing this a little too much. But anyways, yeah. So, and even the actor himself, instead of, going on the whole victimhood path, poor me, how dare they put me in a black suit, much like John Boyega as of late crying about what Disney did with him in Star Wars. Granted, they did disservice to his character, but hey, he could take it on the chin or cry like a bitch, and he's been crying like a bitch. And at least,
Which I thought like he was over that, man.
I thought he was too, but he's been coming back a little bit here and there, crying about it. But hey, Walter here, he's at least gone. It was a good thing. I picked the suit. I was down for it.
Has he done anything since
Power Rangers?
Whatever? Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I don't know. Not a lot of them did. I mean, freaking the guy that played Tommy, the Green Ranger, I think he did some other stuff, but like he was kind of like the mascot for Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and everything, because he even came back multiple times as a ranger and everything.
You're right.
Let's see. I know they did their weird like return series for Power Rangers. I never watched it though. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Once and Always. Let's see here. Yeah, he's done stuff. He's even done some voice acting and everything. But it's just not been like big prominent stuff, I guess. Some TV stuff here and there. But it looks like he's been staying active. Oh, he's in White Men Can't Jump. Huh.
That's not racist.
Not wrong there. But yeah, so like I said, dude's been staying active in his own way.
That's good. Stop crying though.
Well, he's not crying. It's Boyega that's been crying. And whoever this fucking the Tony Oliver guy has been crying, trying to act like it was a mistake doing what they did. Now, like it is, since the gal that played the Yellow Ranger died in like 2001 from a car crash, we can't get her side of things. But you'd only hope she wouldn't quite take that path, but you don't know. We can't say to it.
You're right. Without definitive proof.
Anyway, yeah. Like I said, just something a little different, a little off to the beaten path.
Nice to end on positivity versus just
absolute negativity.
Yes.
Well, there we go. There we have it.
That's a lot of what we go through. Just this butt bleeding. Just
I like to have butt bleeding negativity.
It is like my hemorrhoid's gonna pop.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay, so folks, we are gonna be cutting it a little earlier than normal because Hitman's got plans tonight. He's got stuff to do. But thank you all for showing up. Much appreciated. Nerdy Neo, Dan Blackroyd, Shaka Zulu, Melissa Lord, and of course, New York, Florida Man, and the Backseater. We greatly appreciate it. We greatly appreciate you. And if you haven't, please also smash the like button. Drop a comment if you're on the replay and all that huh?
Help the algo.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Oop, gotta go to the endings. Oh, no.
Did you boomer it?
I thought I closed out the ending thing already. Hang on, I God dang it. There, I had to close. Dang it, my bad. Yeah, Dan Blackroyd, he says the bush remains unseen. We have not seen the bush for a bit, but the bush will return, and it'll be mighty and bushy.
It will.
It will. We just it's just time scales and everything hasn't been quite there, but we'll get there. Don't worry. The bush will return.
We have 10 seasons of this, so.
I don't know if I will do a gaming stream the coming week. I may be trying to get things set up for the following week for the big birthday stream on April 23rd. And also no weekend pregame because those baguettes are all going to be in Las Vegas for the gay meetup.
WrestleMania.
And also, yeah, Brad's going to be there for WrestleMania. Which I almost thought of bringing that up as a topic tonight to talk about some WrestleMania, just because I'm kind of curious your thoughts or if you've been even paying attention.
Oh, I had a buddy of mine we kind of talked through. I think we should do it for next week, but just more shenanigans.
I'm still waiting for the Wyatt Six to return. God damn it, I was digging them.
Yeah.
Anyways, we also got some things to work out. Keep your eyes peeled for what we've got coming, and we will catch you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.